All right, we are live. Woo woo.
It's all live.
Not much today. So well, Amanda has a whole bunch of boxes for non-sports card stuff, but
It's
she
not
just
ready
hasn't been able to get to it yet.
Yep.
So that'll have to be a later show for those to show those off. We got a few sports cards, Funkos, posters, and so some fun to do today.
Yay, fun.
Yeah. So how have you been enjoying the nice weather?
It's been nice. It's definitely been nice. Just it always happens this way during this time of year. It's St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. We get bad weather the weekend of St. Patrick's Day, so I don't really get to celebrate as I would like to, and it bothers me.
Yeah.
All I want to do is be able to sit on my porch and watch Dropkick Murphys and drink enough Guinness to concern people.
I have a Dropkick Murphy, the video that I just saw the other day. I can't remember exactly what happened. The singer and a guy made a small bet, and it's hilarious. I just can't remember what it was about, but I'll have to show you that to you once I. Dropkick Murphys is awesome.
Yes, they're a band they're on my bucket list of bands I want to see live before I die. I just haven't gotten to see them.
Sure.
I'm gonna see Cake this May, so.
Yeah, I really got into Dropkick Murphys and a lot of the bands like them back when Boston was trying to get into the World Series for the first time.
Yep.
And win it back in, what was it, 04?
Yeah, they the Dropkick Murphys had recorded their old fight song, and it as part of the push to get them to win, and they released it, and when they released it, that was the first, then it just kind of domino affected.
Sure. Yeah. Well, about 2 minutes in, I guess we can start the show.
Woo-woo. Not as good as the "Don't Stop Believing" for the White Sox winning the World Series, but.
Oh, true. Yes. That's my team, but yeah.
When I used to follow baseball, that was my team as well. I was a big fan of Frank Thomas back in the day.
Nothing wrong with the Big Hurt. One of the very few you can actually all but, in a lot of sense, 99.9% guaranteed that he wasn't a part of that. Even though he was a part of that era, he is not going to have an asterisk like everybody else.
No, he was pure beef.
Yeah.
No bread, no water, all meat.
It was always awesome the last few years that I was actually able to consistently watch because they started being on WGN a little bit more. Him just practice in the batter's box with that rebar. That was always fun to see. And they'd always comment on it. It's like they're like so astonished. He's got that huge rebar, and everybody else just brings out a bat with the whatever. I can't remember what it's called, but the thing that they put on there to make it a little bit heavier.
Yep.
So I guess that means we can start the show. Welcome everybody. Welcome to our show, Rainbow Presents Wednesday Night Lights with your hosts
Patrick
and Casey. A little bit fumbly there. I don't know why. Apparently,
it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's daylight savings time.
Yep.
I haven't adjusted, and if politics want to do anything good, they should just get rid of daylight saving. I have not found a good reason not to.
No.
It just messes with sleep schedules, throws everybody off for like a good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Makes the kids grumpy, makes the people around me grumpy, makes me grumpy. It's just no good.
Yeah, well, a lot of farmers would want to throw arms with you because at least a lot of them would, just because that's what they're used to, is the whole for the extending daylight later on in the year.
Yeah, but at that point, the extended daylight, it doesn't really affect them because it's a difference of getting up between it's sunrise is at 6 anyways.
Sure.
So what sunrise would be at spring ahead 5 o'clock, and they'd be in bed by 9. More hours of sleep before it goes late. So those are the hours when you sleep before midnight. It has been provenly shown to be better rest than any hours after midnight. So it would be better for them.
Oh, true. Well,
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. I know last week for our question of the day was about college basketball. Let's go with baseball since that's starting up here soon. I guess the question I would have basically ask is, are you excited for this year?
I could care less.
You could care less. You're not a baseball fan?
Or
you've gotten out of baseball, I should say?
It's so with my lifestyle as it is, I do not have time to watch sports. I get to watch maybe a couple games a year, and so I wait for a good Notre Dame football game to be on in college.
Mm-hmm.
I get to wait for the Super Bowl, and that's honestly, with everything else, I feel so busy.
Sure.
And I look at it this way: I've got teenagers at home, or one teenager, one middle schooler. By the time if I spent time, I could have choices of spending meaningful time with them, or watching ball games. I'll wait for the ball games until after they're out of the house.
Sure.
I would rather have the meaningful time now. Once they're gone, it's just my wife. I love her to death, but
even if they're living at home for like high school and stuff like that, and they start just shutting the door and keeping you out.
Oh, it's gonna be This Is Sparta. I'm sorry. I only have X amount of years with you, and trust me, you would rather have the memories now than regret them 5 years from now. I am going to be the dad that, as my son is leaving the house, when he has like his buddies picking him up and things like that, I'm going to be, I love you as you leave the house. I'm going to hug him in front of his friends and not be embarrassed. And if he's embarrassed by it, so be it. His friends will know that his dad cares.
Sure.
And he will know that his dad cares, and that's just who I am.
Oh, there you go. I guess future note for myself: don't ask Patrick sports questions until the fall.
Mm-hmm. I'll watch a football game, maybe a hockey game or two, and that's about it.
All right. Well, I guess that means we can start off with what we're going to show on this camera here, which is going to be some posters.
Yay, posters. So first off, for our anime fans, we've got a lovely wanted poster here from, I'm just going to try and bend it and not get it reflected in the light or something here. I can probably
bend up the camera a little bit more so that way we can, there
we go.
We go.
It's a lovely wanted poster from One Piece here. We've got Scabruk of Dead or Alive wanted 83 million from the Marine Corps. It's a nice little wanted poster. So if you're into One Piece at all, this may be a poster you want for your wall. If you've just got a classic gaming room, we've got Monopoly.
Ooh.
And it's kind of a structured piece here, into friendship, play some Monopoly. It's and it's got the classic pieces, classic spots, get out of jail free. Actually, it doesn't have the pieces on it. That's kind of sad. But they've changed the pieces, and that bothers me. But that's just me being whiny.
Right. Well, the interesting thing about Monopoly is they've actually come out with an expansion, little card deck that is supposed to make the game faster. I think the expansion is called Go to Jail. So there's a whole bunch of extra cards that basically would make you go to jail a lot faster and lose your money faster. Not sure. Well, here's some other Marvel ones that we can show off. We've got a Marvel team, and we've got some characters on here, and not just your normal ones. When you've got Rocket Racer on there, you've got the Fantastic Four, Iron Man, the Avengers. You've got all sorts of fun people, all sorts of wackadoos. It's Morbin time. You've got the Melting Man. You've got, wow, this is a who's who of comics and just impressive. I'm just stunned that they have the Rocket Racer flat out in the middle. That just blows my mind. You've got The Last Hunt with Kraven, which is one of my favorite runs there. Kraven is such an underrated Spider-Man villain, in my opinion. He's had some sad stories, or not very good stories, but when he's written right, oh, he's so good. And then we got here a Fantastic Four poster.
Yeah,
that's the original Four.
Yeah, we got the original Four, the Human Torch, who is always one of my favorites. I think he gets underused because I think he's just someone who, I don't remember him having any long-term run on the Avengers, but gosh, I think he'd be a good one to have on there. Someone who is, kind of a smart aleck, kind of got the, hasn't settled down, is kind of an adventurous one.
And then we got this odd-looking Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah, this is one of the ones where the Fantastic Four was out in space. You have Medusa, you have Ant-Man, you have, or Giant Man at that time. you have I believe it is the Thing's girlfriend in the Thing robot suit, along with She-Hulk.
So any She-Hulk fans out there, here's a poster for you to get.
That was definitely a different run of the Fantastic Four for sure.
And then to some people's childhood, even though this is the newer version of this, we have Masters of the Universe.
You know, I do like this version. I grew up on the old Masters of the Universe, but I do like this version better because as I got older, I couldn't take the bob cut of He-Man seriously. The more I saw it, it's like that does not look like a, that does not look like a sword swinging adventurer manly man to me.
Sure.
I always expected him to break out into some kind of, not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but into a Broadway musical almost.
Sure. Yeah. All right, now we can turn our attentions to our other camera and talk about Sports Ball.
Hooray, Sports Ball.
Now, this is the new debut edition product from Panini.
Panini.
We have the Prospect edition for baseball. So,
not about mining. I was very disappointed.
Right. According to this, we have 6 packs per box, 8 cards per pack, and it says find 6 autographs per box on average. So potentially that means 1 autograph per pack.
That is kind of impressive for those autograph hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I'm assuming, the generation that is being picked up now, like the draft picks prospects.
Yeah, these are the ones that are being drafted or are in the minor leagues currently.
Okay. So get a star while they're young.
Yeah. Now, speaking of autograph boxes, we have 2023-2024 Topps Midnight, which is, I believe it's only 3 cards because that's all you can see on the front. And the reason why it's so hefty is I think those 3 cards are actually in top loaders.
Ooh.
The special thing about these is it's 3 chrome autographs.
Guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
That is impressive. Now, I'm guessing the price point isn't as fun as some of the other ones, but you're getting 3 autographs guaranteed from the word go.
Yep.
So if you're hunting for autographs, want something fun to crack, and treat yourself.
Yeah,
you deserve it.
It is basketball, and it does say National Basketball Association or Players Association, so it will have some of your favorite NBA stars in here, even if they don't have the logos, because Topps doesn't have that yet. So, continuing with basketball, it may not be a new product to us, but at least for this, this is a new box to us, which is the Mega Box version for NBA Prism for 24-25. So it only comes with 60 cards, and 10 of those cards are green ice prisms.
Ooh.
So those who like the little cracked ice, but in this one it's green cracked ice, basically.
Not to be confused with the blue ice.
Right.
That's a different show entirely, and we aren't cooking here.
And then last but not least, another basketball product, we have the brand new hobby box of 24-25 Donruss. Comes with 1 autograph per box on average. So if you don't get your autograph, go complain to Panini.
But you're cracking 300 cards, so you're going to have fun ripping one of these open.
Oh yeah, definitely. These were always fun to open years ago when it was a better price point. But even with, I believe this one's a decent price point for what we're used to. And
you're bored on a weekend, you get 2 of these, or you get 1 of these each with a buddy. You have a box break party, or what is it? They box when 2 people are going off. Better Box gets it.
Oh, Pack War.
Pack War. You could have Pack Wars with this and have a good time.
Oh yeah. Here, I'll let you talk about all these new Mylars.
Ooh, so we've got new Mylars. We have for the these are 2mm Mylars, so it's going to be a little bit of a thicker bit here, but these are 7x12, 10-12s for our modern currents. We also have these for regular and silvers. These are mainly restocks. We have Mylars for our golden age, and then we also have some for our magazine size, so your for your Time Life books, things like that. So if you've got some comics there or some magazines you want to secure, have them be nice for a while. We got the bag. We'll probably have the board somewhere. Get them bagged up, keep them nice. Make sure that they aren't exposed to the elements and all of that.
I have to grab one of these for my collection of Sports Illustrated.
Exactly.
And that finishes up sports ball, and non-sports ball. So I guess that leaves us last with Funko Land.
Yay,
So
Funko Land.
what did you bring to the show and tell?
So with this, I saw this, and this is from the Ronin Vision series that's on, that is on Disney Plus. You've got the Ronin and B556. So they're kind of a Japanese styled, Sith and a Japanese styled robot. So it's kind of cool to see how they did those in that art style, and they're kind of black and white, just like the show. This was a Target exclusive, so it's new to us, but it's kind of cool to see. Not when I saw a lot. I've seen in the shop before, so if you missed it when it was out and want to grab it, this is a good time to do so.
Be interesting to see that one like glow in the dark.
And this one, these are the again a Target exclusive. This was Ben Kenobi based on the comic book cover for the old 1980s Marvel Star Wars books. That's why it's got the painting on the face to make it look more comic accurate. It almost, looking at this one, it almost looks like it is George Lucas in the robes.
Right.
Now, and that's kind of cool to me. That's why I grabbed it initially. I was like, did they do George Lucas as the Jedi? And I'm like, no, that's supposed to be Kenobi. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Gotta love the pink lightsaber.
Exactly. It's and then for Universal Studios Monsters, this was a Walmart exclusive. So again, not one I've seen a lot in the store of. I've maybe seen this once since I've been here. The Invisible Man, which was one of my favorite old school, like when it was Halloween season, watching on Turner Movie Classics. I love this movie. I love the look. I tried to do it one year for Halloween using ace bandages. That was a terrible idea because I got so hot. I was sweating so badly. But it is a classic movie, a classic touch. So if you're into horror movies, maybe something you were interested in. Again, with those Walmart or Walgreens exclusives, there are a lot of those that I missed out on because I never thought to look at Walgreens for Funkos when they were first coming out.
What did you think of the most recent Invisible Man movie where it was just a suit?
That one I did not care for.
Sorry if I ruined that for anybody.
I did not care for it. It was not my cup of tea. I liked the idea of the person who was stuck being invisible and caused them to lose a bit of their humanity because they lost their they lost the ability to interact properly with human beings, and it threw him off. I liked that the classic. There's something about the old school science going too fast, not thinking things through, that really appeals to me. It's why I liked Black Mirror so much.
Sure.
So it harkened back to that. This and honestly, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde are probably my two favorite horror movies. I would love to see a modern take of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, something to do with someone trying to genetically improve themselves and have it go completely awry.
Well, they kind of did that with Russell Crowe in that Mummy movie, but unfortunately couldn't expand on it because they decided to kill that whole movie franchise.
It did not go as well as they had hoped for, because honestly, people saw the Mummy and they were hoping for a Brendan Fraser return. Let's be honest.
Right. True. Essentially, I kind of was too.
The fact what Hollywood did to Brendan Fraser is just wrong. But that's another story entirely. The last one I have here, I saw this and I thought it was really cool. This is based off of Star Wars' original look from the comics, or more original look from the comics. So, and it was a PX exclusive, limited to 20,000 pieces. So it is not one that there are going to be a ton of out there. The box isn't perfect, but by gosh, it's a really nice looking piece, especially if you're an old school Star-Lord comics fan.
Oh yeah.
It's one that you may want to grab for your shelves, and it's just such an interesting look. Back when he had the two guns, they all had these uniforms in that first run of the series when they had Rocket Raccoon and all of those guys as that were leading into the Guardians of the Galaxies during the Annihilation series. Just a fantastic look, and I just thought it was a really cool Funko.
Nice. For my Funkos, I went a little all over the place. We'll start off with everybody that loves musicals. We have Hamilton's Alexander Hamilton. Walmart exclusive here for that one. So the restock, or at least new to us restock, I should say. So those of you that love that movie,
for as much as Lin-Manuel Miranda loves, I don't know if you knew this, Lin-Manuel Miranda loves professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him do a professional wrestling musical just to see what he would do with it.
It'd be interesting. But what era do you think he would go with?
Oh, he'd have to go with the 50s, 60s type
Sure.
wrestling era, or the early 30s, 40s. I mean, they just had the Queen of the Ring movie that just dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll do a musical version of that.
Yeah. Then we go back to, most of us older people's childhoods, and we get into G.I. Joe. We have Serpentor. For those of you that don't know, Serpentor, he was the leader, correct?
He was the
above Cobra Commander.
Yes, he was the genetically produced leader above Cobra Commander. They took some of the great in the cartoons, at least. I can't remember if this is accurate for the comics. I didn't read the comics, but he was a genetically combined version of like the Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan.
Oh, sure.
And all of these other great leaders. And they got the DNA and they fused it all together and they created Serpentor. And yet somehow he knew of Shangri or Cobra La 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 when they had the movie come out,
right.
Which was a weird movie.
Turning Cobra Commander into an actual snake was just weird. Now we get to
evidently he was a snake before that too, so it was a weird movie.
Yeah, a little also diving into the youth. We have Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Sega. We have the cover edition of this guy. So if you really want to be nostalgic and be able to look at the cover of the old game that you used to own and then have Sonic, this is the GameStop exclusive for those that wanted to know. This would be the perfect piece for your video game room, unlike the Monopoly game room, right?
Yes.
And then continuing on with gaming, we have from Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Tiny Tina herself. For those of you that absolutely love that video game series, I still haven't played this one.
To me, it was better than Borderlands 3 was.
Sure.
Because it leaned into the insanity just a bit more. It's like if we're gonna go like they had been, but I'm understanding 4 is gonna rein it back to the early days of the series of 1 and 2. So hopefully that will hit better for what people are looking for. But this was a fun diversion.
All right. And then last but not least, we have Winston from Overwatch, which every time I hear the name Winston, I always think of that song that I'm not going to be Mercy. Yeah. Just like hearing the girl say, or the guy say, I want to be Winston. And she's like, I'm already Winston. Just that back and forth was just always hilarious to me. So those of you that didn't know what Winston looked like, there you go. And those of you that do know and would love to have this as your character, we have them. So, all right. That's it for Funko Land.
Yay, Funko Land.
Woo. So, beautiful day out today.
Yep. A great night to come get some comics.
Oh, yes. We are open till 8. If you can't make it tonight because you're enjoying the weather out tonight, we do open again tomorrow at 10. So... Yep.
But we'll be here. We're fun and exciting. We promise we don't bite. Well, I don't bite. I can't speak for Casey.
In most cases, I don't bite hard. So, great weather today. Tomorrow as well, I believe. Yep, we don't get the bad weather until Friday.
Yep.
So, enjoy it as much as you can, everybody. So, I guess for tonight, we don't have to really say drive to arrive other than avoid traffic.
Yep.
So. And enjoy your St. Patrick's Day weekend this weekend as much as you can, right, Patrick?
Exactly. It may be interesting with the weather for the parade, but that is South Dakota in a nutshell.
Right. Well, everybody have a good night. Drive safe, and maybe we'll see you tonight.